Motherfucker.
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
People that are in those training rooms with him know how good.
Because he just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look.
They're edgy.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened? I just see like this huge bush.
I did get a strike for it, so hey.
I really vibe to it though.
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Friday, November 12th. Got Eric in here with me. We also got a special guest today, the curator of chaos, the marvelous Mr. Bell is joining us today. How you doing?
Hello! Hello, my friends. Thank you for having me here, and it is a beautiful day. It's about to be a great day, and I think we're about to have a great conversation of some sorts, right? Like,
yeah, it's about something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, good to have you in the house, Jordan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Too bad we couldn't get the other Jordan here. Also,
he wanted to attend.
Or Steve.
He wanted to attend, but you know, having kids and things like that, we're trying to, you know, we're full-time workers of the auto industry, you know, whatever. Plus full-time fathers, and we all have these random things that we do. He has his Pokemon that like he's super duper into and like trying to support. Plus we do the Kokomo Press podcast, and then there's me, and I do way too much, but like
oh yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, so but he wanted to be here. I wish he was here. We're gonna have to link and do something in the near future. So like we'll make something happen.
Do a super duper show, super podcast show. Have both shows on at the same time.
Yeah. I like it.
And get Con on, and
I like it. We'll just have a mega show.
Yeah.
That'll work. Also, I'll try to bring Mr. Chris Owens.
Oh yeah.
So
I've been watching a lot of his stuff. I'm really impressed with him. He really is a good athlete.
He's just a good friend that I've met, and like doing spectacular things. And like I've met so many people in my short span in this part of the wrestling industry, at least, or at least my look at the wrestling industry so far. But I've met so many good people, and like I just want to help them, like, you know, go to the moon or
right. Yeah.
So
I think like back in them old like wrestling games, you know, like whenever we were kids and you could like create your own character. I think everybody's like default created character probably looked like Chris Owens. super big and athletic, and like
he has that.
Dude has like the perfect look. Like come on.
I joke because I say that he and his fiance are probably the prettiest people I've ever met in my absolute fucking life. It's almost gross. Like,
shout out to the alpha athlete Chris Owens.
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in the wrestling business?
So my journey into the wrestling business has been super obscure. I've always been a wrestling fan. You know, I maybe stopped watching at some point because I think we all did. You know, but I picked back up at around the time I was in the military. I picked back up and started watching and started following. And then I kept up with it. Some hard things went on in my life, and I definitely kept up with it because it helped me stay out of those bad things. I mean, I still got into some bad things, but like, you know, we're here now. Randomly, you know, long story short, I hit up some people because I found out there was a promotion in my local area called AACW, which shout out to AACW. To plug, we also have a show tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. at 1510 South Market Street in Kokomo, Indiana. You can see me in tag team action. You will see the Blow Up King Rick Vidal. You will see plenty of other people that are in my local area doing some great things, and I hope that we can bring some people out there. But long story short, I got linked up with them. I randomly hit up some people, and I was like, hey, I'd love to help. Even if I'm just setting up a ring or whatever, I don't care. Like, let me help because I was bored.
Right.
But, and I needed it. You know, since then, this was fast forward. It's been about 3 years since then. And I've been helping to promote AACW. I've been meeting other people in the Midwest Indiana wrestling scene, and then through that, I also created my own character as the Marvelous Mr. Bell, the Curator of Chaos. And it's been a weird journey, but like I have so many people to like thank for just where I'm at. Like Shane Cowser, like he literally gave me my step into the wrestling business, who is the owner operator of AACW. Like, and I owe guys like my partner in crime, Jordan Granger. He taught me how to do some of this stuff. He's helped me like open up and like become more of a character. If you see some of the things that we do with the press and things like that. And then of course like Alicon, who I met through social media, and like I think he and I are interlinked for whatever reason, not in a weird way, but like I think he and I are gonna do some great things in the near future. And like I think all those people, because they are all so crucial into just my young step in the wrestling business. And you know, I'm trying to go fast because I'm an old man. Like I'm 34 years old. Right. I ain't got too much longer, you know, that I can do stuff or like, you know, even be a part of this. So we're riding it.
Yeah. Speaking of Khan, like you can definitely see his influence in some of the stuff that you do. Like,
I'm not trying to bite. I'm just like
everybody takes influence from everything in life. Like if that's what really art is influencing other stuff, and then you know just putting a little bit of your own spin on it, and a little bit of your own vibes into it, and
making it
coming out with something your own. Everything is always borrowed from something else.
Well, watching Khan, he started doing something that I haven't seen anyone do in a long time. Like he put a focus on the manager, and I think it's a lost art. Lost art that we need to not lose.
It's something wrestling.
It needs to be preserved in wrestling, and it needs to be cherished. And he's doing it in a different facet. You can see that he pulls from guys like Heenan and guys like Jimmy Hart, but we all pull from everyone. And like I said, if I didn't see Khan doing the things that he was doing, I wouldn't have had the idea, hey, maybe I could try this. Maybe I could do this. Let me try this. And it's transpired into what we're doing now. So
we had a comment that said curator for president. Yeah, that was from Daniel Fuel.
There is only one president that I'm going to recognize, and that is Jeremy Hadley. He is my president. No president has ever been treated worse. That's the only president we are going to recognize today.
How long has it been since when did you make your debut in the ring?
My in-ring debut was about 4 or 5 months ago. Okay. I was named the commissioner of AACW. And right after I was named the commissioner of AACW, I was kidnapped by this really dumbass clown, and like I had to fight. Nobody helped me. I hired a guy, and he sometimes works, but sometimes he's worthless. I might fire him later. Like it's hard finding good help. It really, really is. But like I said, made my debut in ring, and I really don't even like calling it in ring debut. I'm not a fully trained wrestler. I've just been learning over the past, three years or so, and like, I've been taking seminars, and I've also been learning from the guys that I have in front of me. So, but because I don't want to call myself a wrestler because I feel like that's super disrespectful in so many ways. And I'm more so an entertainer. That's where my roots are drawing from, and that's what I'm trying to do, is just being an entertaining person.
Is that where you see yourself leaning more towards just like the management entertaining side, or actually in-ring work as well?
The management world of professional wrestling is where I'm going to reside. And, it's not a competition or anything like with my main con, like, because I think we're all a family, and I think we can all grow some things that are really special, especially on this Midwest scene. And but that's where I see myself the most. But I'm not afraid to take bumps. I'm not afraid to learn. I am learning, and I'm ready for whatever until at least I can't anymore.
Yeah. So you said you're doing a tag team match tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who's that with?
It is a tornado tag team match with myself and my bodyguard Street. He'll be assisting me. And actually, I could probably just put him out there. He can do all the work and, call it a day. He's only facing a stupid clown, the same stupid clown, because I can't seem to get rid of him. But I digress.
I hate clowns. Hire me. I'll come take him out for you.
He somehow found a friend, a stupid fan friend by the name of Tyson Lang, something like that, Lame. And I'm gonna have to deal with some light work tomorrow, and that's what we're gonna do. So,
how long has AACW been there in Kokomo?
AACW has really been around for a long time. I don't want to be misquoted, but I believe it's been around 10 plus years, and beyond that, because AACW again was a promotion that is ran by Shane Cowsert, but it was started by his father, and it was passed down and things like that. And Shane has really done a lot to give a spot for people to train and to just share upon this art. So I can't give enough flowers to him.
We'll have to go check that. We'll have to go check that out.
Yeah,
sometime.
definitely.
Tomorrow will be our last show of the year. But then we have some big plans coming in 2022, so I can't wait, and I can't wait to be a part of the things that we're doing. I'm really hoping that we can interlink with other promotions and do some really special things here in the future. So,
have you managed any other promotions besides AACW, or has that just been where you've been at?
I have not. Like I said, I'm a baby in this industry. I know I'm old, right? But I really just put myself out there within the last year or so, and at least as far as wrestling and wrestling management and being more of a in front of the action sort of guy. It's really been a weird journey, but we're here now. So I haven't managed at any other promotion yet, and I am looking at all the promotions, especially around the Midwest area. I know a lot
Jared,
of them.
Terry.
Yeah. Well,
Can get my boy on. He'll put on a show for you.
I mean, I know a lot of the promotions have already seen the Curator of Chaos, at least a tidbit. I know they're intrigued, so I'm just, waiting. All these promotions.
Come on, Jerry, jump on early. That way you can't say that you was following a trend. You started the trend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not lobbying or anything like that. I'm just saying you. Why wouldn't you want me? You want me. Look at me.
Exactly. Come on now. You want entertainment, you want art, you want chaos, you want it all mixed together in a big pot,
yes,
and then
sir.
pour it all over everybody's head.
Yes, sir.
Get my man in here on your show.
Yes, sir.
So, who were some of the guys that got you into professional wrestling? Who was that caught your eye? That was oh yeah, that's what really that just sucked you in.
As far as growing up and watching, unfortunately, I loved Hulk Hogan, and I feel differently now about that. But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I think we all.
I think every kid.
Yeah.
Every kid back in the day was a Hulk Hogan fan.
Yeah. We've all went through that transition and pain, and I've talked to a therapist about it a couple times. So there's that. But I was a really big tag team guy. I love fucking sorry.
You're fine.
I loved Harlem Heat. Booker T was my guy. I was a big WCW guy as
Me
opposed
too.
like it took me a while to transition. I held out, and like I was so happy I held out because on that day was that the company's merge was actually my birthday. So like that always holds a true special place in my heart that like, man, like I don't know, I'm super interlinked to wrestling for whatever reason, like we all are, and like we all have our story, but like I loved everything WCW was doing early on. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. I watched those guys. I've always been a fan of Chris Jericho even before like people were like, hey, that's Chris Jericho. Yeah. I was like, I love those guys. If you didn't, all the cruiserweights were my favorite. I love the NWO and things like that, but like that's what helped me.
Yeah,
it's
Kidman
like,
and
Lenny.
I loved Billy Kidman back in the day.
Well, if WCW would have used them guys, right? They would have been the ones buying WWF. Said WWF buying them.
Again,
Juventude and
Mr. Hogan.
Yep. Hogan and
Nash.
Yeah. So I mean that's where all my depression comes from. So
yeah, you can't have your big stars being your bookers as well.
No,
yeah.
Well,
I like
you
that.
can. There's great
well,
lines.
Yeah.
There's look. I
You
don't want to be a
you
naysayer
gotta
of
make sure
booking,
pick
but
up
that
a
shit
certain-
didn't work the way it should have because it failed, and that's why we're here. But they had such a good crop of guys. That's who I wanted to watch. And then I flipped over and like I met people like The Rock, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's my guy. I like him. Let me follow him. I love Stone Cold, but he was different. I was like, I know that he's anti-authority. He's cool, but The Rock is it. Like the Rock is it. I want to be him. I want to be able to talk like him. I want to be able to look like him. I kind of look like him if you squint a couple times. But like, you know,
Yeah,
that's where we are. I don't know.
and he's one of the best. He's probably the best ever on the mic. One of the best ever on the mic. Man, he's so good.
He gave so much to wrestling from an entertainer's pathway. Like I know, like the business was literally made for him. Like,
And he was also a good worker in the ring. I mean,
absolutely.
He wasn't just a guy that could talk. He had the full package.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no way that you can't give respect to guys like that. So, later on, like I found a love for. I don't really love like extreme like deathmatch stuff. It's cool visually, but I can't take a lot. Because
same.
you know. A lot of good or a lot of one thing kind of ruins your palate, right?
And there's
So,
not a lot of storyline in the deathmatch.
Just go in there and beat the brutal hell out of each other.
No, I'm a story guy. I like to be able to tell a story. I like to be able to like follow a story. I like to be able to yell at a story when I think they messed up, right? Like that. That's me. I mean, that may be ultimate fan, but I love wrestling so much that like I just hope that it stays preserved and stays this thing that like just helps people, like, because I think that's what it is, because life, it's weird.
So I always watched both. I was a WCW fan and WWF because my dad, he don't miss a show. And even to this day, he watches Raw Monday, Tuesdays, NXT, Wednesday, AEW. He don't miss a show. If he has to work at recording, he watches the next day.
Absolutely.
And so when I was younger, we was always watching it with him. Eric would be at the house. He got every pay-per-view. So I was a big WWF guy as well, but I really like Stone Cold. But WCW with the cruiserweights, if they would have been building them up more, they would have been.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But here nowadays, I watch more independent wrestling than I probably do the other brands.
I do as well. And like going back to like, I know I'm super green, at least, especially in the Midwest scene of professional wrestling, because like my eyes are so open and I'm just like, holy crap, there's been this world like right here. There's a whole bunch of people like me. I was like,
and there's a lot of talent around here.
Yeah, I am so blown away. It's hard for me to keep up. Like I'm still learning names and like learning people and things like that. I apologize because even like when I go or been on like cons podcasts and things like that. I've definitely flubbed names, but like I am watching you guys and I appreciate your work, and I just want to be. I want to be there and want to be involved and like help all of this grow. So,
yeah, I feel I can definitely feel that when we got involved in all this, in kind of almost by accident, and with the wrestling part, and then this just all taken off. And said we've loved wrestling since we was young, like watching it with his dad. That's how I first, fell into it, the WWF and all that. The big characters, Hogan, the Warriors, Andre the Giant, those bigger than life characters that everybody in the world knows.
Yeah.
But then the WCW cruiserweights and all that is what hooked me.
Yeah.
And that made, turned it from like, oh, wow, this shit is cool as a kid to like, man, this shit is really cool. Like, I really like this. And
it's like, so like, like when you go out and you have like I'm kind of basic, man. I really just need a burger and fries, right? Like those big name guys, there's your burger, but you really need those fries, and that's what the cruiserweights and like
I said, tag team, good tag team wrestling
divisions. That's
the
what
old
those
Steiners,
were. Like,
Doom and Legion, the Road Warriors and Four Horsemen and like them stables and things like that. That's what I love to see, like.
Yeah,
the old Survivor Series matches when it had like the elimination, one team, the Hulkamaniacs versus the Warriors, and
I love those things.
Where the Hart Foundation would always go up against somebody.
Just like the Mountie and all them guys, like
the Mountie. That was WWF definitely had some crazy ass characters back in the day.
Oh yeah,
I think WWF has always had a mindset and a vision for itself, and its mindset is to be fun family entertainment, and that's
so over the top.
Well, they want to get those kids because they know a kid that comes usually two adults that are buying.
Yeah. Kids come in at least twos because they need supervision, right? So like,
and they know parents will do about anything for the kids, so you got them hooked.
So that always has to be like your target market right there, and like I get it. Like I know people trash on WWE, but like I'm such a fan. Still, I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched NXT in a couple weeks because like the hardest thing I feel about NXT is the opening theme song, and that's just because Wale goes hard, right? But like I know there's some really, really bright lights in it, but like it's so saturated into this corny thing that like I don't love it anymore. It stopped being the thing that like really drew me in there, right? Like, so like I found that passion, in other things, whether it be AEW or things like that. I slowly stopped watching Raw for a minute. I think like maybe the rest of the world did too, because it was horrible, and the only good show you could watch was at a time was SmackDown, because it's the only thing that at least had one storyline going on. Whether that one storyline was just Roman Reigns or not, but like it was something, and then it was actually something really good because of brains like Paul Heyman. So yeah.
That's I don't know. I've started watching a lot more like independent wrestling, but I think right now is such a good time to be a professional wrestling fan in general. Like, because you said I like AEW. I love what they're doing over there. Yeah, sometimes there's a little bit too much. Like, too many guys all in one, and, like, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to give everybody a shot and all this stuff. And I love the inner things with, like, Impact and TNA. And, there's matches that you're never going to see in WWE.
I think the idea of AEW is a true love story to, tale. Like,
it's the closest thing to making me feel like old WCW.
Wrestling. Yeah. So I know that like they interweave so many things. They're not gonna oversaturate it with bullshit because they don't want that. They see something for everybody, and they pull the guys that they're like, this is really good. Let's try this. Like, and they're not afraid to try those things. Right. They try
because
things
they're still young.
Yeah. Some of those things fail, and like that's okay. That happens. But it's still a young company as a whole. But man, they're like it's it's doing so much good for wrestling.
Oh yeah, I think
And
so.
at a time where we see like especially like the WWE and places like Ring of Honor letting a lot of people go or collapsing and things like that, it's still a good time for wrestling because of markets like us, like this Midwest market where we have so many different promotions that are running and so many great stars that we can give to wrestling. Like like I know people are losing their jobs and things like that, but there's so many more opportunities opening up. And I see what WWE has to do, unfortunately, and I kind of get it, but it'll be okay for a lot of people in the long run, I think, because the way the industry is moving and what it actually is becoming, because it's becoming like an actual, like, you know, wrestling is becoming one of the biggest sports attractions, you know, slowly in America, right? Like, you know, people love NFL.
Yeah, worldwide, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But really getting into a lot of homes in America, like, it's not what it used to be, and it's not the genre that of people that you used to think was just wrestling fans, man. So like that's what's happening, and that's what's good for the culture, and that's what's good for the business, and like I love it. Like, it's great.
There's a lot more women that are fans without like their boyfriend or husband or whatever telling them to be a fan or tagging along with them, that are just independent wrestling fans on their own than you would normally think.
Yeah, there absolutely are. I mean, I think someone can find their thing in wrestling no matter what it is.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, she does not love wrestling because as a child, she didn't love it. Like her brother used to beat her up and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
Like, you know, things that happen. But like I've slowly like kind of pulled her in, you know. Like, and she finds guys, like, she's a big Darby fan, and because of everything that Darby encompasses. She's like,
his whole persona.
Yeah, I dig that. And like slowly but surely I'm pulling her in, and like, you know, she's slowly becoming a fan of me and what I'm doing. And she realized that, like, although I'm crazy, I'm not like super duper crazy. I got a plan. So
right. And I think that's what is so great about wrestling, is that, like you said, everybody can find something they like about it. Whether if you like to watch the technical wrestlers, if you like to watch, you know, the death matches, the high flyers, the just big brawlers, you know, the real crazy gimmicks, or just a regular plain guy, you know, just out there in some trunks and it has John Doe, you know, like
something for everyone. Now I know there's a lot of misses in wrestling, like there's a lot of stuff that doesn't go over, like that's maybe not well thought out, and that's
like Glacier.
Yeah.
Dr. Yankum.
Yeah, yo. But you gotta start somewhere, like, you know, like, you gotta start somewhere. Like, the Curator may one day just be looked at as like a really bad gimmick, and maybe one day I look at it like, man, what the fuck was I doing? Like, but
sometimes overly bad ideas turn into like
end up being like
awesome.
Evolve into something, right? Like, you can make it into something.
It's infamous, like, really, instead of famous.
Yeah.
I guess you could say it's just infamous.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting canceled. You got to get canceled to kind of be famous, right? So like,
they say all publicity is good publicity. So
yes, sir, it is. Keep talking about me, please. My name is Jordan Bell. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me all over the place. But
so I watch both. I don't watch it all, like every show, but I keep up with that WWE, some and AEW. Only thing AEW is sometimes the matches will get where they all look the same. Too much of the flipping floppy stuff. It's like, come on, separate, or you get different styles.
He's not a huge fan of the Young Bucks.
Well, they're great in the ring, but if you watch them once, you've seen them, because they do like the same thing almost every match.
I happen to like them.
I
They've been in some matches I like, but I'm just not like a great big fan of theirs.
Maybe sometimes
But I
their
respect their
matches
work.
look the same, right? But it's the subtleties in the Young Bucks, how they switch up little things. How over time Matt and Jeff just develop their facial hair, like or their fashion, how it's evolved, or like sometimes it's the subtleties. Like they have such like good wrestling brains, I think, that it's those things for me that like oh man, you pulled from this. Oh crap. Like, okay, I get that. Yeah. Like, I know sometimes they do a lot of the same stuff. And, you know, I've seen a Meltzer driver. You know, it generally looks the same. I get it. But, like, it's, you know, sometimes they still find really good ways to make that shit pop. Like, like, if you haven't seen their matches between with the Lucha Bros, right, just for example, the cage matches, the escalator, or I have the shirt, but the fire ladder match or whatever it was, you know what I mean? So like, yeah,
it's not just AEW, even WWE. A lot of the younger guys, they don't sell things anymore.
Yeah,
You get some that do, but you get some that don't. You'll see a little dude hit this big dude, and he'll act like it knocked him out, and the big dude hits the little dude. The little dude's just standing there. It's like, come on.
I also,
but that's both companies. It's not just one.
Yeah, I try not to over critique those things because like as I'm learning in wrestling, it's really easy to mess something up and have to like, oh fuck man, but you keep going. You don't. You don't acknowledge it. You just keep moving. Mm-hmm. So like, I try not to get overly nitpicky about those things because like it's about the story for me. Always about the story. It's always the story first. It's never really been about like flippy stuff for me. That stuff is cool. I love to see that. But I really like worry about people's like health and safety a lot. And I'm just like, bro, I don't know if you need to do that to tell like what you're trying to tell. But yeah, okay, to each their own, you know. So
yeah, I think I just respect the people like just throwing your body out there.
Oh yeah, you gotta be.
Because any move could be your last move.
You gotta be a little crazy to get in there.
I mean, any of the moves could be your last one.
Absolutely.
And that's what people don't realize. And, like, because everybody still has the misconception, or not everybody, but a lot of people still do, that there's a way to fall, you know, on the top of your head, on your neck, and it not hurt. Like, no, like, the ring maybe have some give to it, but no, not always. Like, come on, you're still falling. The mat, it's a wrestling mat, basically. Yeah. I've been slammed many a times on those, on every part of my body. It is not fun. It hurts. Like,
no, and you're right, Con.
Yeah,
storytelling matters more than movesets, I believe, as well, because like it's true.
The movesets don't matter without the storytelling.
Plus, man, you want to make sure you elongate these people's careers and things like that too. So like, you got to be really careful about the bumps that you're taking, and the way you're willing to put your body on the line. Just don't push it to limits you don't need to push it for. So
yeah, that's
but
at the same time, like, sometimes that's created some of the most memorable moments and some
Absolutely.
of the, and doing some of that shit that was Mick Foley's whole career. You know,
that's
what made him famous. Like but Terry Funk and
those things happen at the correct times. It was built up for those. Like, I know Mick Foley, he took a hell of a lot of bumps and shit like that, and like he absolutely put his body all the way on the line. But his biggest bumps were on the biggest stages.
Exactly.
So,
when the most eyes were watching you.
Yeah. So you have to be smart even about your storytelling in your moves. Like, and I'm not that far advanced as far as like wrestling moveset IQ or things like that. But just from a perspective of always being able to tell a story, wanting to establish a story and keep a story going, like you pull some things back until you really, really need to use it. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because, like, to me, you can have a great wrestling match, you know, fine. But it's like, I don't know exactly how to explain it.
Tell me your
right?
purpose.
But like it's like right, it's like you can have if you have a shitty wrestling match with no story, everybody's going to see it's a shitty wrestling match.
Yeah.
If you have a shitty wrestling match with a story, you can kind of cover it up a little bit more with the with the story than
yeah. And maybe that's a little bit of a cheat code to wrestling.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm new to the behind the scenes business shit too. So like, to me, that's just from my own opinion and my own view. Like, you can sell a match maybe between guys who aren't as good with the storyline than you can just throwing them out there with nothing. Like, they're going to get exposed.
Yeah, they absolutely will. So yes, if it would have happened on a Monday Night Raw like it wouldn't have mattered at all.
No, it wouldn't.
No. Like, oh man, this dude fell. Like, a bunch of people would have forgot about it. Like,
especially then without the social media presence. Like,
yeah. Now there is a difference to that. Now I'm learning and I see too, because like, even if you watch shows like AEW, they'll do some extreme stuff, but they're picking and choosing when to do it. Like, I mean, we just saw the Go Home show for Full Gear, right? They were here in Indy, and like, that was greatest moment. Sell Blood he signed in Hangman's blood. That was a good moment for that. It told a story. You pulled Don Callis into those things like that, and it took a big bump, right? Like, Don Callis sold himself in that. He hit him with a goddamn, camera. So
yeah, and then they had Ruby Soho, like, here come back to Indiana making it with Charlie Cruel.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I wish I
kind of like one passing the torch almost, or like saying, hey, here let's run with it together instead of.
That was so crazy because I just met Charlie that Saturday when I went to the Emerge show, and like then I was like, holy shit! Like I got to see her wrestle for the first time on Saturday, and she's so good. And but I was also in class with her with the Pope, and like you can see that she's really, really passionate, and she so cares, and she's gonna do great things because look at her.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her live. I've only seen videos and clips of her, and I love what she does in the ring. And I think she's got a big future.
She's very fun, and I can't wait until more and more personality comes out of her, because I think she has a good thing going. So,
Dad said if they don't sell, it hurts the story.
Definitely hurts the story.
That's Tony Gonzalez. That's my dad.
Oh, what's up, Dad?
We call him the encyclopedia of wrestling around here because he knows like everything.
Yeah, he can tell you damn near dates.
He's been a fan since a little kid.
That's good. So that's good. Like wrestling historians are always needed and wanted, and because
that's one of my favorite things to do is sit and talk wrestling with that man, because he can tell you stuff that most people have forgotten or don't even know about. Like
he'll come
over
hit
you dates like
and get on.
I love hearing some of those stories, especially like back in the day. Like my grandpa and my grandma, they weren't ever into like wrestling or anything super duper like that, but like they would still tell me stories about Dick the Bruiser and things like that, and I love those.
See, my grandpa was a wrestling fan too, so probably how my dad got in it.
Yeah.
And I grew up getting in it. 'Cause I remember going to the barber shop and they'd have the wrestling magazines because there wasn't no internet back then.
Yeah.
Barber would always give me a magazine to take home with me. I was like always looking forward to going to the barber because I was getting a new wrestling magazine, find out new information that you didn't know.
There was a time my grandpa, like we had one of those black boxes, if you're old enough to remember what those are, and when there were actual like pay-per-views on cable, and he would always record them for me, right? So I would always get a mix of WCW and WWF. I didn't necessarily always know what was going on week to week in WWF, but I still watched some pay-per-views and stuff like that, and I kept that interest. But
back in the day, it was harder to keep track of what was going on because if you didn't catch it on TV, it wasn't like you could get on your phone and see clips of it on social media.
Or go on Hulu and rewatch it,
It's just,
I was also a child.
Like you said, you had to
had a bedtime.
You had to record it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like you could watch the first like hour, but
That's
then
something I
you,
do miss,
you
though,
couldn't
is
watch the last hour.
The Saturday morning superstars.
Oh yeah, that's what I lived for. Saturday mornings when you was a kid, like oh man,
Wake up Saturday morning at Grandpa's and watch some wrestling. That was,
my thing for the longest time would just be in my room, and I just watching wrestling, and like I was probably supposed to be asleep, but I would always sneak to keep wrestling on, at least until it went over. I always hated daylight savings time here because like you remember how like at one, I can't remember which season, but at one point wrestling would stop at like 10 o'clock, and you were like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. My bedtime was 10 o'clock. That worked out, right? And then daylight savings would come, and like
it started like 9. It started at 9 and then at 11.
I was like, oh, somebody hates me, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is sad.
We got lucky because as we got a little older, we were a little older at that time, and Dad would let us stay up till the wrestling ended.
Yeah. I mean,
especially if Bob was at work, that'd be like, yeah, you can stay up and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, as I got older, I didn't have to sneak so much, but like for a while, I remember that was tough times, man. I've had a hard life. I'm telling you.
They used to have them the Saturday night main events that came on like at midnight or something on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? I feel this way. Like wrestling sometimes is like. More so with like WWE stuff is like it's so pop culture that people who don't know anything about it want to be like wearing their shirts and like a Stone Cold shirt or something like
Ric Flair,
shit like Ric
Flair
and all this stuff, and it's like people
you don't
like,
have to ever watch. You can find people who's never watched a wrestling match.
Yeah. What do you feel about that? Is that like
is.
Kind of like posers or so in the wrestling world, like
fuck that poser shit.
Like
no.
I mean, I'm just saying, like shit that you hear out there, and
no, that's stupid. Look, like as a whole, we need to be pushing wrestling to everyone. I don't care how if somebody thinks it's pop culture or somebody's like, oh, I know who Ric Flair is. Woo!
Yeah.
Shirt. It's more eyes on the business. It's more eyes on wrestling, and that's all that matters. And we don't degrade anybody because they don't know as much as I do. Like, no, fuck you, man. Like, thank you for supporting this thing because it's true fucking art, and more people need to see it.
Like that's like when people you see somebody wearing a band shirt and you're like, oh, name 3 bands, like name 3 wrestling movies, like that's just dumb, dude. Like if it's getting it out there, and it's like you said, it's art. It's no different than a TV series, like The Office, Game of Thrones or something, like.
I mean, first of all, like, if you come up at me and ask me name 3 of something, look, man, I got anxiety and some PTSD. Right. I might either fucking, like, hit you in the face or, like, really, like, question, what the hell is going on? Are you on meth?
Yeah.
Sorry, trigger. It doesn't people like what they like, man, and they don't have to like what
everybody
they
don't
like
have to,
because
and everybody don't have to like the same things.
No, you don't even have to like the same parts of something, right? Like I said, my girlfriend likes Darby Allin because like he's brooding and like he's just like he's a skater guy. But that drew her in. Mm-hmm. Like she doesn't know a lot about wrestling, but she has a Darby Allin shirt, and if anybody ever like gave her shit about, oh, you don't know nothing about wrestling, I'll punch you in the face because you're bad for the business and you're bad for wrestling. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah, I don't like when people do that either. That's just, I was seeing a lot of that. Whenever you read
stars like Ric Flair, Stone Cold, that everybody's gonna know who they are.
The Rock.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Rock. You have them stars that's just gotten so big.
Yeah.
And that's one reason, like WWE, they don't want big stars like that no more because.
No, I think you're wrong.
Well, here's the reason, though, I think. Because they don't want another guy like The Rock and them guys because they leave. They want to build the stars up that they can get to stay there. I think that's why they...
Oh, I'm sorry.
See what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, I know Hogan left, and then he kind of got replaced by Stone Cold and The Rock, right? And then they left, and they kind of got replaced by John Cena and guys like Randy Orton, things like that. And then... John Cena's left. Yeah, but now we have Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but Randy Orton's big. And he's not the. He wasn't as big as them guys.
My point is, I don't think Vince McMahon is tripping. He creates stars. Mm-hmm. Roman Reigns, probably in the next 5-10 years will probably be in some big budget, big
Yeah.
name
Oh, yeah.
movies.
He
Mark
will.
my words.
Oh, he
right?
will.
That's
Like,
something other
it's
than that
factual.
little sidekick on Hobbs and Shaw. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. That's where
Yeah.
The Rock started. If you
Yeah.
don't remember, like him being on the Scorpion King and things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, and even Stone Cold, he started on that stuff. The only thing with him, like, he's just like, this ain't my field, dog. Like,
No, he
like-
Because that movie,
I
that
don't
movie
think he likes
condemned.
people telling him what he's going to do.
Yeah,
yeah, no, not so
that
much.
movie Condemned that he made was actually pretty decent. The first
Yeah.
one, after
Yeah,
they'd done it like
yeah.
2 or 3 times.
I do like his
It's-
podcast though a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That Broken Skull sessions.
I don't think WWE is worried about creating stars that are too big because they keep creating stars.
And then people
Like,
be like, "Oh, that's WWE's The Rock, WWE's Stone Cold, WWE's." You
I
know,
mean, do you look at like Disney and you're like, oh man, Disney doesn't make any more Mickey Mouse movies anymore. They buried him, right? But no, they make like Mulan. They keep making things like that, or like they make whatever's hot. I don't have little kids anymore, so I don't watch
Yeah,
too
I
much
don't
Disney.
either.
But
Yeah.
like, but my point is, it's all about keep on creating, and like Vince McMahon is probably one of the smartest men alive, right? Like whether
look
whether
what he
you
done.
hate him, like him, I don't care.
Look what he done on the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Everybody was telling him he's an idiot and everything,
Nah.
and look what he done. He was ahead of everybody.
90,
It's all
9.
streaming.
Yeah, the whole idea of streaming, it wasn't invented by Vince McMahon, but like he saw it and he was like, let me grab that. Yeah. we can
Well,
use
And
that.
he's one of the first ones
what
to make his
people don't
network. and all
actually
that.
realize is how much he changed the way the NFL films
Yeah.
because of
Oh, yeah.
XFL with that
They still
zipline
have
camera
cameras, cameras.
and all the different sideline
And he-
cams and everything that they had.
And like you
They
said,
didn't have
hate
all
him or
that.
love him. He's the one that's made wrestling world helped make wrestling
Yeah,
worldwide.
there wouldn't be no AEW
It was all
if it wasn't
territories.
Vince McMahon. So
It was all
like, if you're a
territories.
fanboy of just one or the other, like you're kind of wrong because it's all intertwined, man. Like, and it's allowed to branch off into its own entities and things because that's how we grow, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's how a tree grows, right? The roots and stuff.
To
like
me, that's
that.
that's the only one part I don't like. I don't really care for about like WWE and Vince McMahon. Yeah, you can tell like he's an asshole in there. You know, he doesn't hide the fact that he's an asshole. Really, like
I think he has to be at this point.
he is who he is, and he doesn't say sorry to nobody about it. So you had to accept it or move the fuck on.
Yeah.
But what he's done, like you said, for the world and for the eyes that are now upon it all, like collectively, instead of here and there
He's
a
a
little
hell of a-
bit, you know,
he's a hell
random
of a
fans,
promoter.
like random fans that are just, oh, they'll keep you a fan for 3 to 6 months. No, now they're a fan from 3 to 6 years old till they're 40, 50 years old, you know,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And like I said, once you get the kids hooked, look at the John Cenas of the world and the Baileys and, you know, all that.
You know how much money I've spent on John Cena merchandise
Right, like,
for my son back in the
Just-
day. It's like
just wrestling merchandise, period. Like, I mean,
Well,
I probably spent way too much.
that chair there
Ever since-
is autographed by Edge.
Nice.
And it's also autographed by G.W.R. on the other side. But I bought that for my son. And I think I paid like $100 for that when I got it for him.
but that's,
He
that's
said,
one
he told
of the things.
yeah, you could use it for your podcast. So I brought it over here.
Nice score.
It's one of the communities that almost everybody in the world, doesn't matter what language you speak, knows something about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
They know who The Rock is. They know who Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, whatever is.
They knew
They
those
know who
because they were
people in
larger
every
than life,
country
and
in
that's
the
what
world,
wrestling is.
literally,
I mean,
like.
as long as it stays larger than life as a whole. Now, I know wrestling fans, they don't necessarily want a cookie cutter product, but like sometimes when you have millions of dollars on the line, you're getting Fox money, you're getting USA,
When you get too big to fail.
Universal like money. Like,
Well, look, he made $50 million to go do that Crown Jewel.
Thank
One
you.
show.
Thank you. You're making money all over the world. It doesn't. You have to put yourself in a box because you put yourself in that box, man. Like your eyes are everywhere, and you have to appeal to those things.
Look what he done with
when
the
you go to
Peacock
Saudi
deal.
Arabia and things like that. Like you have to be able to incorporate their culture, right, into what you're presenting because you don't want to offend them. You don't want.
That was like the women had to wear all long sleeves.
Exactly.
and
I know
everything.
people bag on those things, but like it's all about respect, and respect goes both ways. And like
That goes back
Like-
to where
Yeah,
everybody
they
don't,
was
have,
talking
everybody don't
about
have to
that.
think the same. You
But-
gotta-
but-
No,
You know,
it
they
goes back to that
shitted
where
on
everybody-
that, but really, look, that was the first time they've had women compete like that in the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what did that do for women's rights? Now women are over there are starting to get some rights. You know,
Slowly
like
but surely, things are evolving and things are changing, and you love to see that, and you love to see that maybe wrestling helped with that a
right, like
little bit. So,
seeing
like,
these two
and then
women
the-
on a wrestling show.
I know that
Even
like,
Other girls from over there are going to start seeing that shit too.
I know that like WWE isn't always gonna push guys, like maybe American Alpha, right?
Mhm.
Like they're not always gonna push guys like that to the moon, and like they're very very well like technical guys and things like that, but there's reasons why they don't push them because they add to the product but they don't make the product, right? Like a guy like Roman Reigns, he makes the product. Look at him, like not the fanboy and not things like that, but like they've learned from their formula. They keep going, they keep evolving on top of that formula, and they like it's not hurting the business, and like it's not hurting wrestling at all. So that like keep going, because things like AEW are birthed through these things. You know, things like, you know, our Midwest Indiana wrestling scene, they're blowing up because of these things, right? Like people, there's a lot of negative like wrestling fans, and there's a lot of toxicity in wrestling, right? Like, but like people focus on that thing. It's like, oh no, it's the end of the world. And I think maybe some of you are possibly QAnoners. All the offense in the world. Nothing's always the end of the world, man. You got to look at the bigger picture, and you know, there's guys like out there that see the bigger picture. I think Tony Khan sees the bigger picture. I think Vince McMahon sees the bigger picture. I think people like Triple H see the bigger picture. You know, and I see a lot of good guys in our own region that see the bigger picture of what wrestling is and becoming and what it could be.
Yeah, look what he done with that Peacock deal, because that's a 5-year deal. So that means in 5 more years he's gonna get paid. He's gonna get paid like that again.
Yeah,
See, all he did was license it to him. He still owns it. And what a lot of people don't understand, that was just in the United States.
Yeah.
WWE Network is still streaming in all the other countries, like it was before.
Like, I mean, that's a brand. Look, I have a brand that I'm building right now. I don't want to do too much bad for my brand, because like bad is bad, you know. So like I think, you know, WWE has a lot of waters that they try not to cross, because you know.
Well, that's
Doesn't lead to
that's
good
one
money.
reason too. When you're a public traded company,
Absolutely.
it changes a lot of that. You have to.
Yeah, Daniel said WWE equals Ford.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of that too big to fail now, you know, like thing, and they're always. And when you got like Linda up there in the White House and things like that, I mean, that's even a bigger step than just reaching out to households worldwide. That's
Vince McMahon has bigger fish to fry than some of us fanboys that say, you should be doing that. Why aren't you pushing Keith Lee? Again, why aren't you pushing Keith Lee? But at the same time, like, he has his own vision and he has his own plan for that. Right. And like, I think Keith Lee is still going to eat. He's still going to do amazing things. And some of that is also because of his time in WWE, because more eyes were upon him. And if you tell me I'm wrong with that, I'll tell you're a liar, because you don't know anything about wrestling. But these things do things for all these people, and they're going to keep on eating. They're going to keep on going as long as they keep grinding, right? Because that's what we're doing, right? That's what we're.
Just got
do this
to
every
stay
day,
on the
right,
grind,
sir?
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Every
Like
day.
CM Punk wouldn't be CM Punk
Monday,
without WWE.
Absolutely.
At least Monday through
His
Friday.
7 years,
Sometimes on the
his-
weekend too.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
His 7-year absence wouldn't have mean shit if it wasn't for WWE. You know, like
Yeah, it wouldn't have. Like,
everybody, just another wrestler gone for 7 years, come back. Like, ooh.
Let's say, you know, CM Punk, you know, had an amazing, more of an amazing career in Ring of Honor, right? Like, did some crazy things, But none of that would have mattered because if WWE was still going on and getting all the light and the majority of the eyes, who all would know about CM Punk? Just a small select few. WWE is a bigger table, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with being at a bigger table.
Same thing with like Moxley. Look how big of a star he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had all them eyeballs on him.
You got guys like those guys. They were at the big table, and then they've also realized, hey, I can build my own table too off of this, right? And
we got to see him at an independent show before he ever was in WWE.
Yeah.
Actually, Bryan Danielson was at that show too. That was the Saturday before he made his return to Raw after he got fired the first time when he's making his comeback. He was at a show in Indianapolis that Saturday, and John Moxley was on that show.
Nice.
As I said, some of the best matches I've ever seen have been at independent shows. That's why more people should go watch independent wrestling because
you really should.
I mean, you miss out.
All the guys that are on big networks and big companies, they were all independent guys. Where do you think they came from?
90% of them probably wrestled in independents.
Like, I don't care if you're a wrestling fan, like, you just support local wrestling. I don't care whose show you go to. You can come to mine tomorrow, or you can go up wherever whoever's having a promotion or having a show. Support local wrestling, support indie wrestling. I know since I've gotten seen more and gotten to involve myself more into especially this local scene, like, there's so much good. Well, that's what we're trying to do right here with this show. You guys are doing a great job.
Help get eyeballs on some of these guys, and plus, it helps us, but it's also going to help them.
Absolutely.
We've had a blast, like going and doing commentary. Man, we had a blast going to do commentary for DCCW.
We've never done commentary in our lives.
And then last
showed
Sunday,
up one day and just did it.
Last Sunday we went to Indianapolis and done one for WCWO.
Hell yeah. I want to check out some WCWOs. I need to get down there and just watch some shows. And
they're great.
Because I know they're doing great things.
They got a nice setup
so
down
many
there.
of the videos and things like that. But yeah, they're doing great things. Right now, and I just love it. So.
Yeah, we got to go down there Sunday, and they did a benefit show that all the door proceeds went to Veterans Foundation,
HVAF,
and
or HFAV.
Yeah, and they let us come down there and stream it live and do commentary, and we had a blast.
That's what's up, man. That's big. That's big for your guys' brand. That's big for their brand. That's big for wrestling, and that's what it's all about,
And that's what
I've liked so far because since we've gotten into this. Everybody at DCCW's treated us great.
Yeah,
we ain't ran into really no bad people. You know what I mean? It's all been real friendly, almost like a family like. Just like we was talking about with the Con earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we got a great friendship with him now. Then go to WCWO. They treated us like family down there.
There's so many just positive guys that, like I said, that I've met.
And I'm not saying
they're one of them. There's a lot of the guys at DCCW. Coon Dog, I've met him and had really good interactions with him, and he's a positive guy, doing great things. The guys at Emerge, I was able to meet a few of them.
We talked to Ricky Friday before that Emerged, before Reap What You Sow.
Yeah,
he's gonna come back on, I think, before their next show, and Donnie Idol's gonna come on with them.
Good stuff. Yeah, I met Donnie, and all these guys I've had positive meetings with,
and just
I feel good. I feel good about where things are going, especially because they're all in good hands. There's people that care about this business so much, and you can see it out here.
And just go ahead and announce something real quick. Monday at 12:30, we'll have Paragon. We'll be live.
Yes,
we'll be live on G.W.R. at 12:30 this Monday.
I am so
make sure you join us for
that.
Perp Angle, love it,
dude. That's one of the great things about this community that you don't realize until you get a foot in the door into it. And like I said, we barely got a couple toes in the door, and much less a whole foot.
Absolutely, same.
And but the guys that you meet are they've been all such great guys, dude. You don't really realize how much of a brotherhood and family vibe you get. You would think, looking from the outside in without any looking at it, just window shopping it, you'd think, oh, all these guys are probably, you know, like rough, tough, mean asshole dudes outside, like only care about themselves, and it's totally the opposite.
That goes back to the old stories you used to always hear about how bad wrestling promoters were and all that. Where now I think it's starting to change, but more people just need to go watch so they see that it's changed.
And that's what.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying there's not bad people. There's not bad people because
there's toxicity
everywhere. But I've dealt with have always been positive. People and are. All in it for the same thing.
When I met you guys, I just always tried to make sure, man, present myself in a positive way because, like, I know y'all are doing good things, y'all don't have to take time to talk to me, like or anything, right? Like, but like we're all trying to do something positive for each other,
and that's where we met you at. Was that a wrestling show?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, and I watched you guys. It looked like you guys were having the greatest time of your lives. You know, like Plus, that was an absolute banger of a show. So, like,
yeah, it was a real good show.
Yeah, and you see, and then you get to meet other people through so many people, and that to me is like it's such a networking community like that. Like, and off of somebody's word, and that just shows how good of people they are because off of somebody else's word, like, hey, I know this person, and like, you must be cool if you know that person.
That goes back to what you said. You want to make that good first impression.
Always, you know, like always. Look, I
because you never know that person could have a connection to this and this, and it could just
absolutely
catapult you.
And I mean, in this business, man, like I feel like you kind of need help, and you have to ask.
Oh yeah, you have
for help,
to.
and you have to ask questions, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask questions because if you're not asking questions, and you think you know everything, like I'm pretty sure you're gonna get shot down really quick.
Yeah.
Because it's
and then you're not doing any service to the community.
You're not. So like, it's all about learning and being open and like being able to make yourself grow. Allow yourself to grow and allow yourself to soak up, what you can learn from everyone because there's something weird I could learn from you that never even, and the same vice versa.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, we all have talents and we're all very, very unique. And as we highlight each other's talents or help each other or teach each other or grow, like that's what it's about. I'm sorry to be like too sappy and like overly positive, but like that's
no, man, I totally get it. Like it's been like you said with this whole thing, like with we got to meet Khan, and he was great. And then when we had him on, we asked him the question like what we pretty much ask everybody, like who are some of your favorite independent wrestlers, and he mentioned Paragon. I'd heard the name, it just. I mean, it sounds like a cool ass name. Like, but if you hear it, you're automatically like, "Hey, who is Paragon?" Like, and so I had seen him a few times, but then when Khan said that he was one of his favorite up and coming guys, I was like, I went and really like started watching his stuff, and I like became a huge fan of his work.
And
like,
that's what it's about.
And it's not just his in ring work; it's what he does outside and his little like TikToks and podcasts and things that he does on the side and everything as
his
well.
Whole
like
presentation, sometimes
you can tell the dude just loves it. And
he gave me a sample of his Christmas album that he and Connor working on here soon, and like this dude's just so talented. He just busts out singing. I'm just like I won't do it because you'll lose viewers, but like
And then now he's on, and I'm just such fanning out over watching his videos and stuff and watching. Hell, I made a TikTok so I could watch this. He did. I didn't even have TikTok, dude. Like,
I was
him and Con.
I wasn't gonna tell him he was coming on. I was just
him and Con. Like, dude, I literally made a TikTok just so I could follow them dudes.
I ended up telling him last night. I wasn't gonna tell you. I was just gonna put it out there.
I love that dude. Like He's one of my favorite wrestlers, independent wrestlers to watch. And
he definitely is, and I hope to have some good conversations with him. So hopefully in the future, like I'd like to learn and grow from him too. And
tell you somebody we had a real good conversation with was Sam Knight.
Yes, they're all like, all these people are under the household, family umbrella, and
and the highlight reel, Diggs,
Yeah.
like all of them, and they're all great guys. Like you can't say enough about how good of guys they are.
It's a good circle, and you got to give it up to Khan, man, for what he's building. What he's growing, his mindset as to what he sees for the business and things like that, like. These things, like his mind is good, man. I like it. I love it, and I love it because
we're hoping to have Con back on here real soon.
Yeah. I love it because he and I feel like we think so similarly. The way he does things, the way he has a great mind, and I'm just so happy again to be a part of. Midwest professional wrestling, be a part of the household family umbrella, all of this. So,
what did you think was the hardest thing to either like realize or get adjusted to when you first like got your glimpse in behind the curtains?
The behind the curtains.
Yeah, like as far as like this. Any like misconceptions you may have had, about the independent wrestling world, like, and now that you're involved into it, like, was there anything about it that was different than what you originally thought, or like something that you would like to see different change?
There hasn't been much that like. I don't go into things, or I definitely didn't go into this like. Expecting anything. I went into this, okay, it's going to be what it is, and it's become what it's became. I know things. I know a lot about a little bit, and I know a little bit about a lot of things. It just depends on the subject, right? But like, I didn't go into anything that I'm doing now as like, man, I think it's going to be exactly like this or exactly like that. Like, it's all been. Ooh. Oh, okay. It's all like this. I love this. Keep more. Can I
just kind of went in with a blank slate and just like,
yeah. So like, like buffets, right? Like and stuff like that. Like you go on a blank plate. Like I've just gone into all this. Just give me more.
Yeah.
Let me eat. I'm trying to eat.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely been one of my favorite things about, getting to be so in depth into this wrestling world is like so much shit just surprises you at every turn and corner, like, and it's just so big and so many levels and layers to it that people don't realize is like that's the thing that's sometimes is overwhelming. Like you was talking about earlier, like trying to keep a hold of everybody's names and all the different letters everywhere, like WCW, DCCW, AACW,
I think the wrestling
AW,
business, like almost challenges the military for a number of acronyms.
Exactly.
So, like, because there's so many wrestling acronyms or like ABC companies or things like that. It's hard to keep up with. It's very, very hard.
And the names of moves, like when we're doing commentating, because like. One move can have 5 or 6 different names. Like,
absolutely.
It seems like there's been more wrestling organizations popping up since we're coming out of the pandemic.
The business is growing.
The
business is absolutely growing, which is a good and bad thing because obviously you have to be careful of who you surround yourself with and where you're going and things like that. You want to be particular. And you want to make sure if you're really trying to do something here that you surround yourself around the best group of guys or best group of people possible to show me. Okay, I can do this. Show me.
I have a question on the thing. What is your best experience and your worst experience?
My best wrestling experience and my worst experience is let's see. Just so far, just being so young into wrestling, I've only had a couple matches. So my best experience is obviously the match that I won because I'm great. I'm absolutely fabulous.
Because you're marvelous.
That's why they call me marvelous. But also, and then the match that I lost to this stupid fan, but I'm going to avenge both, or to at least avenge that and kick out my problems from AACW. So
Nice.
Let's switch gears. We haven't really talked about it. How long have you been doing the Kokomo Press podcast?
I have been a part, I'm sorry, we are 24 episodes deep into the Kokomo Press podcast. I've been a part of the Kokomo Press, though, which is a satire page for Kokomo. We make fun of everyone. We'll make fun of anyone. We just, like, we have dark humor, but we also just like comedy, right? I have been working with them for probably like the last at least 3 years or so, and we've been building our brand as far as that goes. And like I said,
go check out the Kokomo Press podcast,
Yes.
Facebook page, everywhere else.
Yeah, more so, like, you don't have to always listen to us on the Kokomo Press podcast. Like, just check out the page, because we always have something. We will make you laugh in some way. We will make you think that we will make you think that these dudes are fucking demented.
They are.
And all of these things are true, but here we are.
No, shout out to Danger Granger and
That's my
who's the
partner
other
in
guy
crime.
that works on the?
We
on
have
with you?
it's myself, Jordan Granger. We have Brian Allen West, and we have Courtney Richardson. It's just basically the Kokomo Press is the four of us. And
Nice.
so.
Shout out to all you guys. You guys are doing great things over there. I've caught a few of them, and so yeah, definitely y'all. I like how y'all. It's not just one thing that y'all talk about. It's like such a wide range of everything.
I'm
it's
not one
everything,
thing, Jordan's
dude.
not one thing.
Yeah.
And this is what we bring to you. Like I said, like, we will bring you like local stuff. I mean, even if you're not familiar with the Kokomo area, we'll bring it to you in a sense that, like, you'll still laugh at it because let's laugh at Kokomo. It's okay. I laugh at my own home too. Love it, but still laugh at it. But we're not about one thing. We're not trying to be one thing. Like, we talk a lot about wrestling, but it's not a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about politics, but it's not a politics podcast. We talk a lot about entertainment or movies or music and everything. You never know really what we're going to bring you from week to week, but we're
I
trying
think
to
that's
bring
what
you
I
something.
like about it.
Yeah.
To me, that's really what I like is like just the such diversity and, like, you know, spontaneousness sometimes that it feels like I don't know if it is like spontaneous, because like most of the time when we're here we don't have anything like planned out. We just kind of wing it all, and it's like, what are we going to turn on? Okay, let's just turn on the camera and talk. And
I usually Jordan and I bring a couple of just topics that, you know, going on through the weeks, and he'll have some and I'll have some, and we do a lot of free balling, but we try to make sure we hit certain things and don't forget, because, you know, you got to write a couple things down.
That's what we do.
well, with the sports betting part, you kind of got to do the research and writing it down.
Even like
but
on the sports show, we don't really talk about, like, have a set format, but I'll write down like 4 or 5 topics. So I want to make sure we
get together a little bit before, and be like, hey, did you hear about this story in sports news, or did you hear about that trade, or
write
this,
down
or
some
whatever?
like bullet points, and then lead you into a deeper conversation.
But also, like, the group chat stays lit.
Yep.
So, like, we are always throwing each other ideas in the group chat. Hey, let's talk about this. Did you see this? Can we, you know, do something? So, like,
that's what we're always doing through text
it,
messages and stuff, and or on the phone or however.
If we're not about to make a meme or a joke about it, we'll usually talk about it, at least on the podcast. So, like,
and I think that's what also, like, the range of the guests that y'all have been having lately is like so diverse. Also, as well, like you had Chris, and then I can't remember the girl's name. The last episode y'all just put out.
Oh, Courtney.
Yeah,
she's
the one
kind of our
that
mainstay. But
and
she's on a lot of our episodes. She's our group mom, and kind of like reels us in, and sometimes like, hey, like, you're stupid. So, like, I mean, and she's great. love having her on. We've had guys like Bobby Trill, who was an amazing musician. If you haven't heard of Sirius Black, oh man, I probably butchered his name. I'll think of it here soon. But Bobby Trill is a great musician. If you can follow him, doing some good
I actually
things
went
out
and
there.
listened to a couple of the songs because of that. Like,
Yeah,
going on there. Like, I always love finding music, any obscure music anywhere that you can find it. Like, and I listen to anything.
Yeah. Here soon, we have a couple more guests lined up. I got some surprises because there's some people I don't know that Jordan has booked, but yeah, a lot of times I'll bring like some wrestling family in, like Chris Owens. Here soon I'm gonna have Shane Cowsort on, who's like I said, gave me my in here, and I can't thank him enough. So like, and then we got Con booked for early December, so I can't wait for that. We're gonna have him in, and it's gonna be a great conversation. So
he makes your podcast easy because you can just ask him a question, sit back, and let him talk for half an hour at each question.
Absolutely, I can't wait because I feel like Con and Jordan are gonna they are gonna be so dominant. I'm just gonna be like, oh, hey guys, I'm still here.
I think another great thing that also, like, for people who haven't seen him but like this kind of stuff, it's like you have the comedy and the dark humor, like you said, but there's a lot of intelligence and thought about what y'all do and what y'all say. Also, like, it's like, it's not just two guys on there just being goofy and like whatever, and just saying random shit out their ass. It's like,
no.
I mean, sometimes y'all might say random shit out your ass, but like,
absolutely,
you could tell you are like well-spoken, intelligent guys and girls.
This all started just because me and Jordan had some fly-ass conversations while I was outside smoking, right? And like we realized, like, this is a thing. We should keep doing this, and like it's evolved. It's grown so much. Like, the Kokomo Press is actually it's been so like influential in my life and good right now, like, because it's brought me so much positive. Like, we've done things like host and share and give live feeds to protests that are going on. We try to share, artists in the community. We try to share so much good, but we also make light of so much everything else. Sometimes, like, our good gets oversaturated, right, by who we are, over the top, but it's okay because I feel like we have a good mix. There's a lot of guys or a lot of people, like humans, that rock with us, and like we're gonna keep it going till we don't go no more.
That's just like with what we do here, doing the sports betting and the sports and the wrestling. I think we have a good mix where I think we have something for almost anybody.
Yeah, that's what I've dug about you guys is, look, I'm not, I don't do a lot of sports betting because I'm still broke, but like, I'm watching it and I'm learning because, I'm learning about the over-unders, I'm learning about the odds and how to play some parlays and shit like that, because like I am gambling dumb to a lot of these things, but I've been able to learn, thankfully to you guys, and then it's helped me, like, read more outside of that. So like, all of these things are important. Everything that you have the calling to do, or you felt that you have the calling to do, like, it's important. You should keep doing it, and like, you're doing it for a reason, and it's helping people. And
oh yeah, we had a guy message us. Every week I put out my predictions for the UFC coming up, and there's a guy on YouTube, Paul Brassfield, but
shout out Paul.
Yeah, he's waiting on Monday morning. He'll be messaging me. Hey, you done pretty good on the UFC this weekend. I'm looking forward to your predictions, and that's like
good.
Just hearing that, what I mean, it's like, man,
good.
I know at least somebody appreciates what I'm doing.
I mean, that's all it is. I mean, I used to be that. I mean, I still am. That guy for Con. Like, I was just sharing his stuff, liking his stuff, like really rocking to his shit, and like, you know, like I said, it's all grown from there. It's all grown.
Well, that's
from
how our
there,
relationship grew with Con too. We met him, and then I started watching his stuff and started sharing it all the time. And then we asked him about coming on. He said, "Yeah, well, he's been on twice now."
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're good friends with Mike King, and
Mike, he's a good guy,
and he's got a good relationship with Con, and they have nothing but good shit to say about each other. So like,
I'm excited.
You know, that's how.
When we had them both on together, that was great.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I saw, and I'll actually. Mike King will be at the AACW show this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So I'm super excited about that. I've met him I think it was once, maybe twice. And he seems like such a really good guy.
Yeah,
I'm
he
looking
is.
forward to hopefully helping to work with DCCW maybe in the future if but he seems like a good guy and a good guy for wrestling. I'm so happy that we're going to be able to highlight him in Kokomo. It's a big deal for me. I'm excited, which he's not a stranger by any means. He's been real integral in the past some things in
he's
Kokomo,
he's been in the business about
15, 16 years.
16, 17 years.
Yeah.
I remember watching him back when he first started, because that's when my son was younger. Austin and we take him to independent shows all the time. I remember that was back when he was just. Hell, my son actually jumped off the top rope onto him.
Yeah.
At a birthday party thing that we done, and Mike wrestled one of the matches in the birthday party.
Nice.
It was his idea to let my son jump off top rope on him and pin him.
You gotta love guys like
Yeah,
that.
they came pulled him out of the crowd. It was Austin still talks about that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's one of them
I think
memories.
those
that
are
he'll-
big moments.
Yeah.
And you gotta love that about wrestling, because it'll create those big moments. Even if it's not a big moment for everybody else in the crowd or whatever, you just made your son's life. Or, it's something he's not gonna forget, because yo, I got to do this really cool thing. I got to fly on top of somebody. What's not cool about that?
Even a
who
kid's
doesn't
first
get-
time, or hell, he could have went multiple times to an independent show.
Absolutely.
And the guy's coming down, and he gives a fist bump to maybe 2 of the 10 kids, and you're one of them 2 of the kids. You're gonna remember that. You're gonna tell all your kids, all your friends at school on Monday. Oh, I was at the wrestling show. He gave me fist bumps, or he high fived me, and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I'm 40 years old, and I still remember I was probably 8 or 9 years old. We went to Market Square Arena and watched WWE, and Jake the Snake Roberts came out. We were sitting right on the aisle, and dude held his snake up into the crowd, and we all got to basically kind of hold the snake.
Those are the
that's something I'll never. You know what I mean? That's something I'll never forget. We all
love that.
Only guy we didn't get to see
Absolutely
back in the
love
day
that.
was Hogan, because every time we went, I was supposed to see Hogan. We'd get there and there'd be a paper on the door. He was hurt or something.
I mean, I don't.
He
feel
was the
like
only
you
one we
missed-
never saw.
I don't feel like you missed too much. You missed somebody being buried, which
I
not a
think
bad thing.
my favorite
We
thing.
ended up getting to see Macho Man and Beefcake in the main event that night.
I think my favorite thing so far of us doing this, and the things that the feedback that I've gotten, is when we do these interviews, is that people get an in-depth look behind the wrestler themselves, and they're telling me oh, they're so different than we thought that they would be, or wrestling,
They're
or
a normal human being, just
or
like you.
the wrestling community
absolutely.
is so different than we thought it was going to be. I get those kinds of comments a lot more than any other ones. And I like being able to shatter some of those misconceptions about wrestling for just our regular fans, regular people that don't follow it so much. And, something these guys want to talk about, want to get off their chest and just be like,
yo, it's a great outlet that you guys are providing, especially for the wrestlers here in the Midwest professional wrestling area. Don't stop doing this. This is necessary, and this is good. This is good for the culture as a whole. So being able to kind of peek behind that wall of, hey, this person is doing this. Let's talk about it. Let's see what got this person there. Let's see how this person's journey is going and how it got to this point.
Well, that's why I like that Sam Knight conversation so much, because I've watched him wrestle, and he's a great wrestler, but I got to learn he was trained by Rikishi and Gangrel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff that you Yeah, you just don't know unless you get to talk to the guys and
I
some of the
remember
stories he
watching that
told
and
us.
learning so much about Sam as well, and just coming away from that with, man, I got so much more respect for Sam Knight and everything that he's doing, and I see that man as a hustler and just going and moving and you know making movies.
Hey, and he has a good new T-shirt out.
Oh yeah,
got
that
it.
T-shirt's great.
Yeah.
The one that looks like South Park characters.
Yeah, I do like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, he said they'd be at the show tomorrow, I think tomorrow night or tonight. So, I'm hoping we go to a show that he has them because I want to get one of them. They're a cool shirt.
I might have to have y'all grab me. So.
It's a nice shirt.
What do you look forward?
My nose is so open, man. I'm looking forward to everything. I swear to God. Like I like again, man. I hate being overly positive sometimes, but like I cannot wait for the future. I'm making goals for myself as far as this professional wrestling business goes, and things that I want to do, and I can't wait to smash them because like here lately, I don't know, like I've been able to just manifest my own destiny here lately, and it's kind of a weird thing, right? But like I've been saying I'm gonna do something, and then I just go fucking do it, right? Like, so there's nobody that can stop me from doing anything but me. I mean, there's people that can stop me, I'm sure, but but if I say I'm gonna do it, it's gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen in some capacity, and like I just can't wait to keep growing and keep doing things. I'm telling people that you're gonna see me here, you're gonna see me there, and you're going to eventually. Like, it's coming, and I know people are seeing the things that I'm trying to do, and hopefully people can see the love that I have for this business and the growth that like I think it can even reach beyond what we are now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like and if none of that happens, it's okay, because I think at the end of the day, people see like how much love I have for this, and hopefully they see how much love I just have for life, which is crazy to say sometimes, because you know sometimes we've been in those situations where you didn't love life and things like that. But I love being in this plane right now. I want to stay in this plane, and I want to stay in this mindset, and I'm gonna ride all this until I can't ride it no more. So,
And you know what? Wherever you get to and whatever you want to accomplish and all that stuff, we say maybe 100% of your goals don't get fulfilled. But that's the thing with this business is like success is so subjective. Like
yeah,
it's like
absolutely is.
You make your own success really, and however much you put into it and however much you want to take out of it. You know, if you feel like, hey, that's where you wanted to go and you're satisfied with yourself there, who's to tell you that you're wrong?
No,
nobody is.
There's no one that should tell
you. To me, that's like, I paraphrased that a Whoopi Goldberg quote. Art and life is subjective. You ain't got to dig what I dig, but I reserve the right to dig what I dig.
Exactly.
And so, like, who's to tell you you wasn't successful in your wrestling career? Like, you started out like you said a little bit later in life, but still, there's still room, to get you some years in there and.
Absolutely. Like I have the utmost faith in myself, right? Because if y'all don't have faith in yourselves, you're not doing this. Right, y'all. This is why we're here. I have faith in myself. I believe that like I have a voice. I am a voice. I can be a voice for a lot of different people and a lot of different things. But I especially think that I can be a voice in the professional wrestling business. I think that I can, as I sell myself here, I think I can be a light to wrestlers that need those things, that need that shine, that need that extra edge. I think I can be that thing, and it's more than I think I can. I know I can. Like, and if y'all don't feel that, y'all might be cultureless, and I worry for you.
We know you can. We seen a little bit of what you've done just on a small scale, and that's just already just a sample size. Like I said, we can't wait to see what you got going forward for the rest of your of your career
I appreciate
in the
that.
wrestling world
Well,
and in life in general. Hell, you know, we
Appreciate
always,
that.
and I think you said, you know, like you said, things have just been manifesting for you. But I think that's also a testament to, like you said, the guys and the girls that you have around you.
Absolutely.
Your support system, the people that
Absolutely.
you see are doing it. So you're like, hey, I can't slack off. They're not slacking off. Let me push just as hard as they are. Because you know it can happen.
This me that I am, I was not this person 7 years ago, and maybe a little bit longer than that, or maybe even a little bit closer than that. I'm so much different. I've changed so much. I've grown so much. I've allowed myself to just stop for a little bit and just realize that life is this beautiful thing that we need to cherish and you need to have the most fun with that you can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't have to be drama. If that's your life, that's cool, but I'm gonna
opt out of that one.
Yeah. I've been there. I've done those things. Been back at squad cars and things like that. My life could have been so different, but like, we're here now, and I'm positive. I'm happy, and like I said, man, there's nobody that can tell me I can't do something because I'm about to show you. So
Exactly.
What would be your end goal or your dream scenario for in the wrestling business?
as far as the wrestling business goes, man, I would love to. I mean, ultimate goal is WrestleMania for everyone, right? Like, I would love to manage someone on the grandest.
I'm glad
stage
you
of
said
them
that because
all.
I think you're the first person that we've asked that question that's ever mentioned WrestleMania, and that should be. I mean, you'd think everybody would say WrestleMania. Most of it's just getting there, but no. I mean, if I was doing that, I'd want to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. That's everybody's goal. And if it's not your goal, you're probably lying to yourself, man. You didn't look at wrestling and be like, oh, man, I only want to go to Saturday Night Slam. Nah, man. Look, if you just want to be a 40-miler or whatever, as I've been told, like, by all means, do that if you're happy with that. I'm not knocking it or anything like that. But, like, I think that I have the potential to do, like, so many great things. And, like, what's the point doing it if you're not trying to go to the mountaintop?
Right.
Shoot, what's the point in doing it if you're not trying to make your own mountaintop? Maybe, so.
We would do it this way. The end goal's not to be in the same spot we are today. The end goal is to keep getting better and better. And
Absolutely, man.
And
shit.
like,
I'd love to be commentating a wrestling match on WrestleMania someday.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean,
right?
Or
Absolutely.
or a big sporting event. But I mean, in the wrestling thing, if we keep doing good in this wrestling, WrestleMania would be the goal.
Look, that is my end goal. But man, everything that I get to do in between here, I have cherished. Look, even coming here for you guys. Like I came in the door, I was like, man, thank you guys because you know who the fuck am I? But like,
and we feel the same way. Like, thank you for coming on our little show. Like, Con.
Right there, Con. Don't tell me that the sky's the limit when there's something past that.
yes,
That's a.
He also said, "I love Jordan's
no, there's
mindset."
space. There's space out there. There's a whole universe, man. Don't tell there is no cap. What is it? The roof is not the ceiling, or whatever Michael Jordan fucked up.
The only cap there is if you put a cap on yourself.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
you can only limit yourself.
And I'll tell you what, in doing what we've been doing with this podcast and stuff, I've even learned that more is just you gotta find ways to enjoy the grind.
Yeah. It gets hard. It gets rough. Like, people yell at you, stop tagging me and all this shit. Nah, fuck you.
Hey, I've had people that like on my personal page have kind of blocked me or unfollowed me because they got tired of me blowing their page up
You
and
didn't
stuff.
need 'em.
But
You didn't need them. They're not helping your end goal. You don't need them like that, and they don't see your vision.
hey, we
and see what you're
appreciate
trying
you.
to do,
We appreciate your help because you're always sharing our stuff and commenting on it and stuff. We appreciate that.
This is what we do, man. Like, this is how we highlight. Like, this is how you also break the Facebook and social media algorithms. Is if you like, share, comment, respond on here, on their page, it gets more eyes, gets more followers. So if you keep doing that, you do things like you do that on here, you do that on In Your House, you do that on the Kokomo Press.
Check out
it helps us all.
Check out the new episode of In Your House that came out yesterday. It's a great listen. I listened to it last night, and it just so happens
I'm just
Marvelous Mr. Bell's on that.
And
He's on that one too.
And you know what I realized too, like we got lucky with that twice because we did the highlight reel interview almost the same time that he was doing highlight reel on In Your House. I was like,
that's good though. That's really good.
It's like you just get that, you keep that momentum going.
I mean, that's the goal. Hopefully, it brings people here. You know, I definitely mentioned that like I'd be coming here on Khan's podcast, so hopefully that brought more people here too that haven't listened, or things like that. We're all trying to build each other, man. It's all a community. Yeah,
we definitely need to do a Khan. I know you're listening. We need to do a mega show, a Gonzo's room in your house at the Kokomo Press.
Oh, there we go. Big old mega show.
Big mega show. All three of them all at the same time.
Man, I don't know. We might need a big stage for this.
We need outdoors. We need outdoors to contain all. Outdoors is the only place that can contain all that.
Yeah.
Set up a huge show.
100% down. I love all you guys. We're all dreamers.
Yes, sir.
Another thing he said, the journey is a beautiful struggle. And that's 100%.
Yes, it is.
100% the truth.
It is. You
just got to find ways not to, like we talked earlier, you can't sit there and just get in your own head and beat yourself down. You gotta stay positive and believe in yourself.
Look, nobody's going to believe in you more than you choose to believe in yourself. And, like, I truly believe that. And, like, I've had a lot of people that, like, tell me, hey, you can do things. But I've also had a lot of people that told me,
why are you doing that for? You're not.
You can't do that, blah, blah, blah. I've had some people go to kill yourself, blah, blah, blah. Things happen, right?
Fuck the haters.
I mean, look, they make me famous, right? They will make me famous one day. So, like, ooh.
The same people that's talking shit about you, same ones that's keeping tabs on you.
Yeah, they are. So, I mean, as long, keep watching. I need it. Tell a friend. Tell 4 friends.
Yeah, because they gonna look at us and be like, "No, why are you talking shit about it? This dude's awesome."
Yeah.
Then they gonna be fans.
Yeah. So I mean, keep it up. So
like you said, man, everybody is have such a new
that's exactly
career.
True. People say you can't do things because they're afraid to try it.
Yep.
Absolutely true. They're afraid of. They're projecting their own insecurities onto you. They don't want to try that shit.
They're afraid to take that first big step.
Yeah, I mean, some people just don't have a give a damn about themselves, and like, I'm sorry, like that's not my fault. They
don't want to leave themselves open to exposure and to criticism.
Yeah,
I think is also a big thing because people don't want to hear bad shit about themselves.
Of course they don't. But at the same time, you need to hear bad things about yourself. You need to, hey man, you fucked this up. Yep. Like, I need to hear those things. I need people to tell me, hey, bro, you fucked this up. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have worded this way.
Yeah.
Maybe if you did this or this, like, it would work out a little bit better than you thought it would have. Mm-hmm. Like, tell me these things, please. Because I'm one of those people that I'm going to be like, okay, all right, let's form it this way now.
Yeah, you got to be able to take constructive criticism. But you got to make sure you're taking it from the right people as well.
Yeah, no, you have to have your own filter by all means. Yeah. Like you have to have strong enough will to like be able to like filter like bullshit people out. Like because there's a lot of bullshit people in life, right? That don't mean you no good or like anything like that. But like when you find genuine people in your life, right? Like you hold on to those people because man, first of all, life is precious.
That's another great quote too. My grandfather always said. This is from Khan. Always said to me and my cousins, "Take this critique to help you reach your peak."
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly, man. My man over here just dropping knowledge after knowledge after
knowledge. That's one thing.
That's what he does.
That is so beautiful about this whole thing, this whole journey. Like you said, it's a beautiful struggle. But like, I feel like we're not on this journey just us, Gonzo Sports Room. Like now I feel that we have a whole like group of people now that we're all on the same similar journey, and we've not all been doing it for a long time. You know, like Con, DCCW ain't been around for a long time.
That's one of the greatest things about it.
A lot of these wrestlers,
is the people you meet and the great friendships you can make.
Yeah,
man, I done built my rafts, right, and I'm trying to attach my raft to other people's, and we're trying to attach that raft to more people, so
everybody
our rafts can create a yacht.
Right, so, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, hey, if you watch our show and go follow his and start watching his, that's the point of this.
Yeah.
Exactly if you go watch watch Con's show and you hear about us, that's the whole point of it.
I'm sure there's people that have watched the Kokomo Press that might never heard of us that have seen us today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, that's what this is. We're uplifting each other all in the same community, in the same place. Like, why? There's enough people that's going to tear you down that don't know you, that don't give a damn. We need more of us that are trying to help us,
Absolutely.
Elevate each other and, clap for each other when you do see each other do good shit. Like, too many people, they see somebody doing good and they turn their nose down at that shit.
Or they
get jealous.
Yeah, not me, man. If I see you doing good,
what they're doing, right?
If I see Con, if I see Sam, if I see any of the wrestlers, Mike, I'm gonna stand up and clap for you guys.
Exactly.
Like that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to want to see people get better and move on and be something bigger than they.
People that don't want to see people do better, or they just get jealous because they don't believe in their self. Right. To take the chance to try to do what that person is doing.
Yeah, and if that's your take on life, man, I'm sorry for you, Charlie. Like
I don't need you in my circle.
Nah, man. Right. Look, I need positive Pete's, and we hopping on this train and we just going. And we don't all have rose-colored glasses on or anything like that because we see that there's bad shit and there's bad people.
It's a grind.
Yeah.
And some people might think that's counterproductive. Like having us have you on or you having us on or like us promoting your podcast or promoting Con's podcast or whatever. Like, no, dude, if you're watching podcasts, that's just it's good for anybody in general. Like,
if anyone ever comes at me like that, I'm just like, just get out of my face, stay out of my face. You're a waste of my space, please.
Because we've actually been told we should not be mentioning other people's podcasts on here before.
Why should you not network with among a community of like-minded individuals who are striving for the same things?
Right.
It is not a competition. It is life. And we are trying to highlight all of us because we are all collectively making our own art that should be highlighted, that should be shown. And this is our exhibit.
Damn, we're getting some good quotes in the comment section today. Now, Daniel Fuel, root for those who root for you, growth over ego. That's another great segment or statement. I mean,
that's my homie Danny Zero, yo. He's a wrestler at ACW.
Oh, shout out Danny Zero.
Yes, sir.
You say he wrestles at ACW?
Yeah. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Nice. We'll have to check him out.
I was getting ready to say, we'll have to get a hold of him, get him on here.
Definitely will, and that's what this is about.
He's right. He's right there. I know his name. I'm gonna hit you up here in a little bit.
We're gonna go Google your matches. We're gonna YouTube you everything.
That's what's up.
That's how you do it. Like,
and if there's any independent wrestlers hearing this, just because we haven't messaged you, don't mean we don't want you on the show. We might. I mean, maybe we haven't seen a whole lot of your matches, or hey, if you see us, contact us. We'll get you on here and help get you some exposure.
Yeah.
Man, that's what the whole goal is.
Or if anybody's like, hey, I know a good wrestler has some matches, send us the videos. We'll watch them. Shit, I'll watch all of them.
I do too.
That's how I do my research.
Well, that's like when I asked you to come on. Some of it was because you've shared all of our stuff, but I watched some of your guys' show. I listened to that one yesterday with In Your House. And
yeah.
I was like, hey, let's get him on here and help them grow, try to help them grow, and it's going to help us.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Like I said, it's a community. It is absolutely a community, and that's what we're here to build up everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So No negative in my space, yo.
World's most dangerous punching bag.
Yeah. He's a young guy. He's a young guy. As are most of our guys in AACW, we're very, very young promotion. But like I said, I can't say enough because Shane Calsort gave us the best space in Kokomo in order to train, in order to create a craft and create a persona and things like that. And I can't give that man enough shout outs.
Do they have AACW have a training center?
Yeah, we train out of the Alliance Event Center. That all of that is changing here soon, and we'll have some changes. But yeah, over the last 2-3 years, we've been training out of there. And
well, I mean, like if there was a young guy wanting to get into it, could they go there to train?
Yeah,
okay.
And Shane had offered this for free. It was like, hey, we have guys here that are wrestlers that have been in the business for a while. Come train,
learn about the business.
It's not gonna necessarily make you a wrestler, right? But it's gonna get your foot in the door. It's gonna give you a good taste of what this is,
a good foundation of where you can go from there.
Exactly, and you'll be able to grow and to meet people and to be able to get a good foundation, like you said, of what it takes to get into the wrestling business.
As commissioner, do you get to make the matches?
I used to, and as much praise as I want to give Shane, I think he's so power hungry. I am just commissioner by title because I have a pretty face. I mean, he makes all these matches. I have some say, but he keeps pulling back my reins a little bit. But, I get it. Use my face. I'm pretty. I have a loud mouth. I will make AACW great again. But I do have some work to do as far as it takes to push some of the old guard out, so I have full control, and then it'll be scary.
It takes a little bit of time to push the old guard out every once in a while.
I know, I joke, but I've learned so much, and I again, the opportunities that I've had and been given and that I'm doing are amazing.
I'm just happy to hear that there's another promotion in Indiana that seems like it's ran by a good person.
He's been around for a long while, and like I said, he's been very, very good to me, and I appreciate that. So
yeah, we'll definitely have to go check out a show.
Good stuff.
We're already going to a show tomorrow, so we won't be
Hit
able to
up
check
the
out
Half
tomorrow.
Moon. Hit up the Half Moon while we're over there. I love that place.
Yeah, I've been there before. Half Moon. Yeah, they have good food and good beer.
We probably won't have another show until 2022,
okay.
But. I'll extend this invitation now. You guys, our next show, you guys are more than welcome to come if you want to do a little bit of anything. I'll make it work out. So I'm gonna pull some power and say, hey, let's bring these guys in here. Let's
we'll do
something.
We can come do just like we've done to other places,
Awesome.
stream it live.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'd definitely be down for that.
That's what's up.
I love doing that. Doing the DCCW the first time was the first time we ever done commentary. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous going in.
Man!
But as soon as the show started, it was just like it all left, and I just said whatever came to my head, and everybody seemed to like it. So hey,
see the thing
I turned heel the second half of that show.
The thing with this though is I
was going off on people.
that I think that's so relatable to people and why it's doing as well as it has been in the short time that we've been on. Is because we do everything raw, real, uncut, unfiltered, everything
we're wrestling fans reacting to what we see. We're not nobody's in our ear telling us what to say. We're just whatever comes out comes out,
and we don't edit anything.
Neither do we. Sometimes we should, but
yeah, there's times we probably could.
I think that's something that reason we don't edit a lot is it's something that makes us different from other people and people. Some people like the
wrestling world is different like that.
You gotta respect the raw, man. Anyone that's unafraid to just say what they gotta say. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, at any time, maybe one of us may say the wrong thing or put it in the wrong way. But I don't. After meeting you guys, I don't think you necessarily would ever mean it to like degrade someone or to degrade a subculture or anything like that. But like having that raw ability to be able to talk, especially being open guys and like being guys that like are just so positive about everything that's going on. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
My dad said he's going.
You're going?
Talk about that wrestling show.
I like it. I like it. Come on, sir. Come on.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing for me. Is like
he'd go every night if he could.
Is when we
There's
started
so
doing
many
commentary.
guys like that, like around here, like you know, one guy that pops up in my head. I don't know if you guys know who Marcus Fine is. But
Yeah.
So he's one of the biggest fans. He's literally at every show. I know.
Yeah,
He does
shout out to
photography
Marcus.
and things like that. And in so much way, he's giving so much light to professional wrestling in the Midwest scene. And like guys like that are so greght. Like
He was at the WCWO show we did.
He's always at a show. He's always popping up. He's always at AACW. I've been blessed enough to be able to pick his brain a little bit on like how he interprets me and things like that, and like he's giving me some positive things. So like I appreciate guys like that, and I appreciate guys like you guys. I mean, like positive guy here.
Yeah, that chair they gave him at WCWO, they gave him a specialized painted chair with everybody's autograph on it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool chair. I was looking at it when we was there Sunday. I'm ready to go back down there too. The building, when you pull up, I don't know if you've ever been there.
I have not.
You pull up, you look at the building, you're thinking
It just looks like a door.
We're going to do a wrestling show there.
Yeah.
And then you walk in and it's just, I mean, it's a lot. It ain't huge, but
I know
it's not huge, but it's bigger than what you think it is when you walk in.
Just from
and the
seeing
setup
their
is
videos,
cool.
I know they have like this raw underground feel,
Yeah.
and I like it, and I like it. It feels like they bring dark energy, and I'm a fan.
And the fans. I mean,
they have
be able to
great fans.
do a show every Friday
Great
like that,
fans.
man.
Yes. Plus, they have been doing so many great things for like so long. I mean, being able to watch them, their promotion, bring in so many guys that I've worked with at AACW or seen through AACW and things like that. They're doing so many great things for just wrestling in general. And the fact that they run a weekly promotion like that is so fucking great.
And they keep the storylines and they keep them fresh and they keep them.
You got Big Money
like,
Blake as the owner now,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
So
like
Yeah, he won the
what
company
kind
at the
of
last show.
what independent promotion is doing that? What promotion anywhere is doing a storyline like that? The owner of the company lost the whole company in a match
I know, right?
to their number 1 overall draft pick.
I mean, I might have to write this into a stipulation for us tomorrow. We have a 5-on-5 style Survivor series match going on at AACW, and it is going to be Team Hog, who is Shane Calsort, versus Team Travis Southern and Brody Bodkins. And the stipulation of the match is if Team Hog loses, Shane Calsort can no longer step in an AACW ring any longer. And I think I'm going to write it in that I just take over power. So we're going to see how this goes. And
Brody was at WCWO. He wrestles there quite often.
And that's another thing we didn't mention there, but Dad just said their training center there at WCWO is awesome.
I'd love to check that out sometimes.
We got when we was there Sunday, we got to watch them train.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Nice. Love it.
They were training while we were setting up everything. Yeah, Marcus is a super fan. I think he would be a good guest.
Yeah,
he would.
He really would. I bet that dude. Honestly, like we were
he
talking about
follows
wrestling
us.
historians earlier,
I
and
almost
think
messaged
that,
him last night about it. I'll send him a message today because I almost did last night.
Yo, Mr. Fine, if you're listening right now, because you might be, there's a good chance.
Yeah.
Like, come. Like, talk to these guys. I'd love to hear your conversation about wrestling history, especially here.
In the state
Well,
of
because
Indiana.
I know you have so many.
You know he
imagine you have
does.
so
Like
many stories.
Con and Mike King, they both love talking to my dad because of that.
Yeah.
So, Shoot, if we got Mr. Fine and Tony on here, you wouldn't need to say a word.
No.
Dude, you would go through the whole history of wrestling and
I believe it.
Oh,
Shoot,
yeah.
y'all might just do that. Just set up the camera, sit them in here, and just let them talk. Just walk out.
we can leave.
Yeah. Go walk out. Watch on your phone. So and learn.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That I would be more of just sitting here like
Yeah.
just sponging everything up, like just feed me knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we get out of here, you have anything you want to plug? Plug all your stuff.
This is a scary thing to add.
Plug all your stuff, man.
Okay, hold on.
Do that.
Let me catch my breath.
Do the con thing.
Okay. My name, again, if you lack culture or didn't hear throughout this entire episode, is the marvelous Mr. Bell. I am the curator of all things greats. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on the Kokomo Press page on Facebook, as well as Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. And I could keep going on. You could also find me at the Kokomo Press podcast. I'm also on a TV show that we didn't talk about called Canary Currency that you can find on Tubi as well as Amazon Prime Video. So go check that out. There's a lot of great people in that, and a lot of hard work has been put into it. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Oh, also, come see AACW Wrestling tomorrow night if you're in the Kokomo area. We're at 1510 South Market Street in Kokomo, Indiana. The doors will open at probably around 6:30, and the show will start at 7 p.m. It is going to be a great show. If I have anything to say about it myself, I plan on making sure that it is a banger. But if you can't come out to my show, look, go out to any of the number of wrestling shows that are in Central Indiana, because I just appreciate the art. I think I plugged everything. I'm about to lose my breath and my train of thought, but I think I got everything in there. Can I thank you guys? Thank you.
We thank you and we appreciate you, and awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I enjoy watching the podcast. We've talked about it. I'm going to enjoy watching you in your wrestling career, and like you said, past the sky is the limit.
Woo. Trying, yo. Too sweet, yo.
And if you're in the Muncie area tomorrow night and you can't make that Kokomo show, there is a show here in Muncie, Indiana tomorrow night. IPW Step Up or Step Out or something like that.
Something like that.
Cool.
I think it starts at doors open at 6 and wrestling starts at 7, something like that. You can find it on their page. Go check it out.
Or there's a WCWO show every Friday night
if you're
on
in Indy,
Kentucky Avenue.
if you're in Indy, go
Indy.
check out WCWO. I'll give you a guarantee that you won't be disappointed.
Yeah,
I've been there twice for shows, and if I could, I'd be there tonight.
Love it.
But don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. Like we said yesterday, if you want to make some money, listen to Easy Money. So come join us for that. We're also live 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch with G.W.R. Gonzo Sports Room. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then we're usually live. We usually do live watch-alongs for all UFC events. Bare Knuckle usually. Colts game Sunday. This Sunday we'll be doing a live watch-along again. So come join us for that. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. About anywhere podcasts are available, you can find us. Check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports /merch. You can see some of our t-shirts behind us. If you'd like one of the G.W.R. t-shirts, we actually have some of them in stock. Just get a hold of me or Eric or Steve, and we can get you one of those. Anything I missed, Eric?
No. Thanks for tuning in. Also on November 20th, let me see. Yeah, November 20th at Mad Jack's in Muncie at the Guardian Brewing Company. Come see me. I'll be out there. We'll be having our super awesome Party Time 6 This will be our 6-year anniversary out there. We're going to be releasing the Super Awesome Party Time 6 beer, which is an American stout with toasted marshmallow and oatmeal cookie infused into it.
Isn't it like 16 or 17%?
I'm not sure exactly what that one is.
I remember it used to be pretty strong.
Yeah, but Super Awesome Party Time 6, come out and join us at the Guardian Brewing Company November 20th. We're going to have a super awesome party time. Come join us. We'll be there.
Also, don't forget, Monday, 12:30, independent wrestler Paragon. Will be live on the show.
Cannot wait for that one.
Also, next Friday, we have WCW wrestler Jordan James.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be on the show on next Friday.
Jordan James.
That's where I forgot. Social media. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where we post all the information about our shows. Our daily picks from Easy Money get posted on there. Interview announcements. You can find everything there.
Yep.
Anything else, Eric?
I'm good. Thank you all for joining us. Appreciate Jordan.
Thank you. Like, comment, share. Just share wrestling, share love. Oh, also, hey, I have a pro wrestling tee store, so check me out. I'm the curator. So, thanks.
All right.
Where's that at?
Pro wrestling tees.
Pro wrestling tees.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. We thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys Sunday for the Colts game. If not, we'll see you Monday morning at 11. Peace.
Peace.